folks, I know there's a history here. I'd like to get this hearing in today. You know, everybody needs to just focus on the relevant facts, okay? I know there's a history here.
Are you talking up by Sunset Mart? Up the hill by the gas station?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you? All right. Who's responsible here?
What's that?
Who's responsible here? Whose house is this?
Yeah, I've been drinking or anything, right?
No.
Okay. Drive careful, okay?
Thank you.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the transparency. What is going on?
That ran away.
Oh, really? You just ditched it?
What is going on? I mean, I know I'm strong enough to handle the truth. We, the people, can handle the truth. You know, I don't get it. Let's take a look, though, live. I'm going to share. I want to see what's going on. Sorry, earlier, I can't. I mean, it's all, let's see. I have to blame it on StreamYard. So let's see right here. Okay. Blair. So here we go. People have asked me, what do I think what does he say?
Yes, yeah. Bailey's gonna walk. She's going to the car and she's gonna feed back both hers and my stuff. Yes. No, I'm going inside right now. Yep.
Well, I had heard earlier. I don't know if it's a rumor or not.
It reminds me of Delphi all over again, just sitting out waiting.
You're looking good today, Sheriff.
Now or when I was yelling? We need you guys seriously. We need you to keep back those.
What is up, everybody? There's a token female. How many females we got out there? We got 2. All right. We got 2 females out there. Right here. Here we go.
Down.
Oh my God! That is completely out of touch. And it's an insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
Completely out of touch. Completely out of touch. And again, I want to say this, it's completely out of touch. And so let's go. He says something about completely out of touch, though.
Down.
Oh my God! That is completely out of touch. And it's an insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived
Woo. Okay. This is interesting because somebody that, wouldn't you want him to just kind of say whatever? They don't want him to talk. That's what I think is crazy is like, they don't want him to talk. So it was a kick, but he says at the beginning there, before he says insult to the intelligence of the American people, he says something about out of touch. Okay. And it's important. And when he gets out, remember, this is somebody like, you have the right to remain silent, right? You don't want to be saying anything. But here, right here, I'm trying to gather all the facts, weeding out, who his family is, what was going on in his life. Is he a patsy? Did they plant evidence?
And it's completely out of touch. And the info to the intelligence of the American people.
Somebody is completely out of touch. So this is more about like, this is completely out of touch. It's like somebody is completely out of touch though. Completely out of touch. And then he says, this is an insult to the intelligence of the American people. So it's like, is he going to say, because he's been saying, okay. So you guys, I have it that he says insult to the intelligence of the American people. That comes at the end. Nobody's going to be disputing that, at least on this channel. You're not going to hear me disputing that. But it's about what he says before any of that. I care about what he is saying before that. And so we're dumping in to, let's see, I'm pulling up my, sorry about earlier, guys. Blame it on StreamYard. As you guys could see, StreamYard messing everybody up. They were having audio issues. So I'm going to take this clip of this video, put it into my Pinnacle Studio. We're going to try to enhance the audio, take away everything else. But I really, really, really wanted to get that beginning part because I know for a fact he says it's about the, do not insult the intelligence of the American people. But I want what's before that. We want what's before that. Let's talk about the fact that why wouldn't you be on the hook for premeditated murder? How, if this is your guy, how is this not premeditated murder? Why are we rolling with that this is not premeditated murder? Whoever did this, how is this not a planned attack? So, but don't you think, I mean, were you guys all shocked when you saw like, hey, this is only, I mean, we got somebody who they're saying arrived 10 days before, plotted this, used fake IDs, all of these things. How is this not, what premeditation, cold-blooded kill right here. Okay. Annie Potts wants to know, where's the evidence? Luigi, it took a bus from Atlanta to New York City. Isn't that what they said the shooter did? Absolutely. They got some, I think they have a lot of problems on their hand. But wait, where's the other angle from the cameras that where the shot happened, or like the three? There would be the other angles. Okay. That's why I was looking to see where these cameras were back in the day. People want to say like, oh, he just did it, didn't care. He was seeing all these cameras. Wasn't very specific where he was standing, but I was trying to show you guys that there were the cameras that were pointing out, like, the way that Brian Thompson would have walked. He's on camera for a very extended period, but we don't see Brian Thompson's face prior to, all we see is him, walking in his blue suit with, it's like a very interesting angle when they have other angles that exist. So now we know his family has a shit ton of money. Okay. And so therefore he should have, any lawyer that he wants, right? So Peter Dragos explained that second degree in New York is the same thing as first degree everywhere else, apparently. So, like, why even bother saying first degree? Don't you guys think that, oh, just go second, doesn't matter. Well, do you think that this deserves a life? I mean, or like a, LOL, my spelling. New York knows how to beat people. Well, I don't know if P. Diddy can get away with stuff for years and years upon years. We'll see what happens. Again, I just personally believe that just because you're going to put some guy at the hostel, maybe that hostel is known for having a lot of gay people and he wanted to be closeted gay. So he was using a fake ID because he didn't want to be out in the world as gay. Who knows? But just because he's at the hostel having fake IDs, all right, how are you going to prove that he's the shooter? Please show me hit the front of his face shooting and I'm all in. Okay, show me that. Show me that. But the other thing I was looking at is they talk about this manifesto. The stuff that's written about his mom, supposedly, and like he heard her crying and all this pain. Do you guys know who his mom is? His mom's a travel connoisseur. Like none of that makes sense. None of that fits the profile of like his mom. So people want me to read that shit. People want to talk about this YouTube channel and that like this would be released. And if you're seeing this now, well, it is a thing on YouTube. You can pre-record, like you could have posts come out ahead of time. But as far as like, I could schedule any live I want, but I would still have to go. Somebody would still have to hit the button to say start. It doesn't just start on its own. So this looks, it's looked crazy since day one. This has looked crazy since day one. I'm just not going to, like, give me the PCA, baby. Give me the PCA. Let's talk about the PCA. You guys, you're going to sit here and tell me that this man, 26-year-old boy, whatever you want to call him, he was so scared because somebody asked him if he was in New York City. He started shaking. Are you kidding me? You want me to believe that? But yeah, this is a kid that was plotting all this shit, comes right up behind the SUV and just shoots the Brian Thompson, the CEO, boom, boom, boom. But a cop comes up to him and asks him if he's, first of all, you want me to remove my mask? No, why? I'm not removing my mask. But he does it. But then you think, oh, you asked me because I was in New York City, I'm going to start shaking. Get out of here. Why would he start shaking about that? Then it looks like he pissed himself in the pictures that they're putting out. I don't get it. I truly don't get it. Something is so off still about this. How in the world does this boy, 26-year-old, who I think he's very, very intelligent, that he knew where Brian Thompson was? Like, I want to hear, how'd you know where Brian Thompson was? So nobody wants to talk about that. Oh, no, it was just him. It's just him. We have no reason to believe it wasn't just him alone. Get out of here. Okay, then what did he hack? What did he say? Who did he talk to get Brian Thompson's, where Brian Thompson would be staying? When all of this shit's going on and people are threatening this man, you think he's just giving out his, this is where I'm going to be? Out of here. Okay. He's very cocky. Well, if he's very cocky, then I can tell you he wasn't shaking when a cop would come up to him and say, where were you in New York City lately? It just doesn't go hand in hand. I'm just curious why he's, this was his extradition hearing. So this is, hey, you're going to go back. Did he ask for a lawyer yet? Is he rolling with no lawyer? Let's see. One more time again. Let me see if my ears will help me out here.
Down.
Whoa, back up. And it's completely out of touch. And the insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
Okay, so this is something I've never seen before. This is the part that I've never seen before. He wants to scream stuff and say stuff to the crowd, right? So let's take a look at the police. Do they start moving him quicker so that he can't say anything? I want everybody to pay attention to that. Is that what happens here? Do they move him quicker?
Down.
Whoa, back up. And it's completely out of touch. And the insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
Oh. What do you guys think? Yeah. Why they, I think he's setting up for a radical defense, in my opinion. Holy shit. I don't know what to think. Absolutely, Andrea Clark. I couldn't agree more. As an American, we have a right to know what their investigation has found with facts and receipts. This is shady. I'm right with you on it. Just all sounds like pure shit to me. But I'm not saying that he's sitting here like, he's obviously innocent until proven guilty. Obviously, somebody killed Brian Thompson right there, felt that they could just shoot him. But here, he's on the run. The mayor of New York acts like they have a name. They don't have a name. Whatever name that they have was wrong, okay? And then you're going to sit here and tell me that he makes all these moves, and he's like, okay, day 5, I didn't think I'd make it till day 5, or I'm just going to have the gun on me. I'm just going to have, where's the jacket, the 2 jackets he was wearing? Where's the black? When he was arrested, why is he basically stripped down of the 2 articles or 3 articles that he had on in a picture? Like, where are those? We took those in to evidence. What? I don't see how forgery charges or the gun charges have anything to do with you taking a man's coat, his 2 coats, and his mask, the black mask and the surgical mask. Okay. I don't see how any of this, how you think about that. I don't know. I don't know. They captured the Starbucks guy. The Starbucks guy may not be the shooter. I don't. To me, they didn't capture the Starbucks guy. This is the guy at the hostel. Okay, if there's anything, right? He's the guy at the hostel. Mayor Adams is a fool. He never had any name. He is known for trying to sound in the know. Law enforcement made an arse of him, basically. He's passing out keys to Diddy. That's how fucked he is. Idiot. I mean, I think these brows are just wild. All these dudes in their brows lately. All right, what else are we looking at here? Oh. Remember they were talking about moving him.
Maybe he'll deliver. Yeah.
I agree. Jennifer Coffindapper says, riddle me this. How can a complete stranger recognize, she says, riddle me this. How can a complete stranger recognize Luigi, seeing him only one time, yet no one in his family, his friend circle, or acquaintances from school work recognize him? Or did they? You guys, I can't believe that they're going to sit here and say that from the videos or from the pictures that they had, that these two officers were like, yeah, this is totally him. You know what I mean? And his family, who's ever going to think that their family member, okay, we're talking browse here. Who's going to think that their family member would ever do something like this? You know? I would love to see that silver laptop. I just want the facts. Like, I'm not, there's no conspiracy. Just give me the facts. And if you can't give stuff out yet because you're building a case still, that's fine. But if you're going to sit here and tell me,
We are going to ask you if we're going to be pulling out and going.
Which way are you going?
Same spiel that we had the last time. You got to give us room.
Yeah.
Can we ask
No
which way you're going so we don't get in your way?
Yeah, no. We actually have two different things happening here now. One's not anything that you guys are going to care about. Soon they're going to go out that this car's going to, they're going to go back. Okay? Thank you. Again, I asked for cooperation.
How long do you think it might be?
When they load him, they're going to drive down the alley this way.
when they load him.
Hey, Bonnie.
Okay, let's see. Here we go. Luigi, where's Mario? All right, let's see what we got here.
What's happening, Luigi? What's going on, Luigi?
Luigi, please. Mario. Me and Mario.
Watch yourself.
Let's see here. So he has an opportunity to say something, but
What's happening?
yeah. The sheriff seems pretty cool though. I like him. I like his flow, you know. All right. He doesn't say anything. I have no idea what to think, but his lawyer just made a statement. Oh, that's good. So his lawyer met him. Well, let's go take a look at that. Let's see. Luigi needs to keep quiet and allow his attorney to speak for him, says the Joker. All right, let's take a listen in what his lawyer has to say here. Again, welcome everybody to the transparency. Let's see. I just disagree with. We have no idea what is real and what's fake out there. You guys can see how quickly anybody can start making accounts, and so Thomas Dickey will be his attorney. Thomas Dickey. Thomas Dickey. Thomas Dickey. If his lawyer says that Luigi can't wait to be exonerated, I will fall out of my chair, says Meg. Damn. Let's see. So again, Thomas Dickey. So Luigi's lawyers should put the entire health insurance industry on trial and argue that Luigi was defending the public from a predator. Oh my God. Just listening to what people say. You guys, don't worry. I heard Luigi has a cousin that's a really good lawyer and has won a lot of murder cases. So my cousin Vinny, damn. Super sad. All this shit. What do you guys think? I don't trust any of this shit.
Back when you saw like, hey, this is only.
Let's see what his lawyer says, though. I was reading all the. Ridiculous.
I want to bring it back on. I think we have with us Heather Barnhart, digital forensics expert. I think we're either trying to get Tracy Walder back on, but we'll see if we can. But who we do also have is Philip Klein. Now, Philip Klein is a personal protection officer, a security analyst who actually protected Brian Thompson on 3 different occasions between 2005 and 2009. I'm thank you. Oh, so we have Tracy. I'm glad to have everybody here. Philip, I actually want to start with you. We haven't had a chance to talk. First of all, I'm so sorry for your loss. I mean, you lost with the loss of Brian Thompson. What was your reaction to finding out that news last week? Let's start there.
Well, we were on duty over in Houston, Texas on another sortie, and we were with a client. I was pulled out of the situation by one of my senior agents that advised me that a situation had gone down in New York City earlier that morning, and that it had been somebody that was affiliated with one of our clients. We protected him in Dallas, Texas 3 times between 2005 and 2009. We were
Okay, guys, ready for this? Let me read this for you guys. The law office of Thomas M. Dickey is defending your constitutional rights for over 30 years. So let's see the areas of practice here. Homicide, DUI, underage and juvenile drug offenses, domestic violence, divorce, custody, adoption, termination of parental rights. You know, we got it all here. Civil law, wills and estates, school law, civil lawsuits, workers' comp. But we do have homicide, DUI. So Thomas Dickey, though. He's got Thomas Dickey. Attorney Thomas Dickey is a lifetime resident of Blair County, a graduate of Altoona High. Dickey went to St. Francis. Oh, wow. He got his degree from Ohio Northern University. Woo! Ohio, baby. There you go. Dickey joined the Blair County Public Defender's Office, where he developed his trade for helping citizens navigate the legal system. Dickey began his private practice in 1984, leading to a successful legal defense career, with acquittals in cases ranging from DUIs to first-degree murder, and winning history-making appeals from the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania, resulting in new trials and restoration of custodial rights. One of a few death penalty qualified attorneys in the area, Dickey is known in many Pennsylvania counties for his strong reputation in the courtroom. He's a litigator, providing vigorous defenses against all levels of criminal charges and active representation in civil litigation. He is a passionate advocate for his clients. Dickey believes in the Constitution and the blueprint it gives for being a citizen in this great country. Everyone deserves to exercise the rights provided there. And my job is to make sure your rights are upheld. You deserve the best representation, and my associates and I are there for you. Give it up for Dickey. Mr. Dickey is also a regular guest commentator on local and national media, including CNN. Shit. You can't make this shit up. Mr. Dickey. Come on, baby. Mr. Dickey. I want to be represented by Mr. Dickey. Damn. Wow. All right. PA is one state that doesn't allow cameras in the courtroom, I think. Well, will not be tried in Pennsylvania, guys. This will be tried in New York. So as far as his gun charges, his forgery charges, his falsification charges for his ID. So that is what will be handled in Pennsylvania. But just let everybody know that, Pennsylvania can sit and spin. So just when you thought the case couldn't get any fucking crazier, Luigi goes and hires Mr. Dickey. So love it. Luigi got him some Dickey. There you go. The headlines for you guys right there. What is good? Happy holiday season, everybody. Woo! Christmas is coming. His lawyer speaks. Well, we'll hear from his lawyer here in a second. Just want to give us a little background.
What's going on, Luigi? Luigi, it's me, Mario. Me and Mario. Can't see him in the background. Luigi, it's me, man. Watch yourself.
Make sure you make room. What's that ladder?
What would you say about that?
Maybe step back enough so we have room. Yeah. Just to make as much space. Yeah. I hate to have everybody toes get.
Good work, you. Sheriff, I still have a bag down in that basement area. I still have some equipment down in that basement area from the.
Should be able to let you in front.
Still? Okay. Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you.
Oh, wow. All right, so all those people are getting the hell out of there. But check this out, guys. Luigi contests New York extradition. He is contesting.
Bonnet Lily Luciana was inside the courthouse in Altoona, Pennsylvania. She joins us now for more on what we learned from the suspect's extradition hearing. Lilia, what happened both inside and outside the courthouse?
Well, as you can see in that video, outside the courthouse, Mangione walked out of that police vehicle, of that sheriff's vehicle, and he seemed very active, aggressive, upset, and yelling. Officers had to kind of restrict him against the wall and bring him into the court. Once he stepped into the courthouse, he was calmer. As a matter of fact, one of those deputies that walked him into the courthouse, there were about seven of them near throughout the whole hearing, before the hearing started, throughout the hearing. One of them at one point told him something, and they both laughed. So it seems like things calmed down quite a lot. But I'll tell you, his demeanor from the moment he stepped in to the moment he left that courtroom was kind of defiant. He kept his eyebrows raised, his head back, kind of very confident. He looked around a lot. A couple of times I had direct eyesight, kind of, eye contact with him a couple of times. He just looked at where the media was, and because I was in his direct line of sight, I kind of felt like he was trying to make eye contact or try to find out who was there. But he had this, strong, confident, and quite defiant presence. He did swivel a lot. He had one document. We couldn't figure out what it was, but it could be either the charging document or something of that nature, with some handwritten notes. His attorney said that they were contesting the extradition, which means that now the Attorney General in New York, Alvin Bragg, has to request an extradition warrant from Governor Kathy Hochul of New York. He has already now, just minutes ago, announced that he will seek that extradition warrant. They have 30 days to do it, but it seems like they're going to try to do it immediately. The other thing that his defense attorney was requesting was bail. The prosecutors here in Altoona County were asking the judge to deny him bail. They were categorizing him as a fugitive. One of the moments where he reacted the most physically or verbally was in a way challenging how the district attorney was describing him as a fugitive. At one point, the district attorney described everything that was found in his possession, including $8,000, and he said, and foreign currency plus his passport. He kind of reacted to that. And then his attorney spoke and objected and said, look, it wasn't more than $20 if it was even real when it came to the foreign currency. At another point, his attorney started talking about masks because the district attorney was saying something about the fact that he had all these masks, so clearly insinuating that he's a flight risk, he was a fugitive, and that he was hiding his face. And he himself spoke into the microphone of his defense attorney and said, I just bought the mask, at which point his attorney restrained him and told him to basically shut up and stop talking.
Woo, there it is. I just bought the mask. You guys, wait till you guys see these photos. You guys, there is no way in fucking hell that any McDonald's or any employee or any customer of this McDonald's would have been like, okay, yeah, this is that dude. These photos, you would never be like, oh my God, I think that that's the guy, that's the suspect of the New York shooting. There's just no way when you see these photos. He said he just bought the mask, but that's what he leaned in to say.
Very active. He looked around. He was very involved and engaged in everything that his attorney was walking him through. He brought some documents and some notes, and the attorney did. He stepped out, I guess, to continue negotiating with the court. When he came back, they had a discussion. They seemed to have had a negotiation. He shook his head, and then he nodded oftentimes, and then we learned what he decided to do, which is to contest the extradition. So we are waiting for, of course, the governor of New York to...
Okay, we're going to see this really quick. You guys have to see these photos. You guys, this is absurd. Okay. I'm just going off of like, I got eyesight. Yeah, I got my own eyesight. Like I'm going to go off my own eyes. If I was in McDonald's and I saw this, what would I do? Well, I know what I would have done. And if I thought it was him, I would have followed his ass. I would have been like, no, we're not calling anybody. We're going to record all this shit. And then I'm going to sell it on the internet to TMZ, baby. Okay, here we go. Luigi. I'm going to sell it all to Jennifer Drake. Ask her if she wants to make more money. Let's see. CBS.
Video shows the suspected gunman in the murder of United Healthcare CEO being brought into court hours in the courthouse ahead of today's extradition hearing. 26-year-old Luigi Mangione is heard shouting in part that this is, quote, completely unjust and an insult to the intelligence of the American people. CBS News correspondent Lilia Luciana was inside the courthouse in Altoona, Pennsylvania. She joins us now for more on what we...
Okay, the first thing I will say is everybody that's out there is like, dude, if I didn't do it, I'd be screaming from the rooftops I didn't do it. Well, here we finally have somebody that's screaming from the rooftops, I didn't do this. This is unjust, and this is an insult to the American people. Woo! Damn right it is. Insult to my bank account. Are you trying to tell me that they said that he had $2,000 in foreign currency and he really only had $20? I mean, fuck these news motherfuckers. This lying and shit has to stop.
We learned from the suspect's extradition hearing. Lilia, what happened both inside and outside the courthouse?
Well, as you can see in that video, outside the courthouse, Mangione walked out of that police vehicle, of that sheriff's vehicle, and he seemed very active, aggressive, upset, and yelling. Officers had to kind of restrict him against the wall and bring him into the court. Once he stepped into the courthouse, he was calmer. As a matter of fact, one of those deputies that walked him into the courthouse, there were about seven of them throughout the whole hearing, before the hearing started, throughout the hearing. One of them at one point told him something and they both laughed. So it seems like things calmed down quite a lot. But I'll tell you, his demeanor from the moment he stepped in to the moment he left that courtroom was kind of defiant. He kept his eyebrows raised, his head back, kind of very confident. He looked around a lot. A couple of times I had direct eyesight kind of, eye contact with him a couple of times. He just looked at where the media was, and because I was in his direct line of sight, I kind of felt like he was trying to make eye contact or try to find out who was there. But he had this, strong, confident, and quite defiant presence. He did swivel a lot. He had one document. We couldn't figure out what it was, but it could be either the charging document or something of that nature, with some handwritten notes. His attorney said that they were contesting the extradition, which means that now the Attorney General in New York, Alvin Bragg, has to request an extradition warrant from Governor Kathy Hochul of New York. He has already now, just minutes ago, announced that he will seek that extradition warrant. They have 30 days to do it, but it seems like they're going to try to do it immediately. The other thing that his defense attorney was requesting was bail. The prosecutors here in Altoona County were asking the judge to deny him bail. They were categorizing him as a fugitive. One of the moments where he reacted the most physically or verbally was in a way challenging how the district attorney was describing him as a.
Okay, guys, all I have to say is now think about my coverage of the Delphi case. Okay. Think about the way that I would talk about a day in the courtroom. Think about the way that Andrea, Lawyer Lee, and now think about Hidden True Crime. Okay. So again, this is her take, right?
Fugitive. At one point, the district attorney described everything that was found in his possession, including $8,000, and he said, and foreign currency plus his passport. He kind of reacted to that. And then his attorney spoke and objected and said, look, it wasn't more than $20 if it was even real when it came to the foreign currency. At another point, his attorney started talking about masks because the district attorney was saying something about the fact that he had all these masks. So clearly insinuating that he's a flight risk, he was a fugitive, and that he was hiding his face. And
these masks, man, like, you guys, I feel like we are living deja vu. Does anybody else feel like that? Like I hear mask and I'm just like, it's 2024. We're still talking about masks, right? So does anybody else feel that way? Like, God, Lana, do you cover all the cases with Bush? Like, if anybody knows that song, cheers to you.
Himself spoke into the microphone of his defense attorney and said, I just bought the masks, at which point his attorney restrained him and told him to basically shut up and stop talking. So he was very active. He looked around. He was very involved and engaged in everything that his attorney was walking him through. He brought some documents and some notes, and the attorney did. He stepped out, I guess, to continue negotiating with the court. When he came back, they had a discussion. They seemed to have had a negotiation. He shook his head, and then he nodded oftentimes, and then we learned what he decided to do, which is to contest the extradition. So we are waiting for, of course, the governor of New York to ask for him to be extradited. And then at that point, he would be taken.
You know what, Willie? I'm so sick and tired of your state producing all these bushy ass browed males. Don't want no short brow. Come on, guys.
Into New York.
And yesterday, we did hear Pennsylvania authorities say they do this all the time. It could take 30 to 45 days. You've been chasing the story on the ground in Altoona. What more are you learning about the events leading up to his arrest?
Well, everybody in this town is kind of paralyzed with this story and following every development. Of course, this is a small city. It is a city, but it's a small city. Law enforcement is not used to having such a high-profile case in their hands. What I heard from police earlier today was that they and he did not really seem to expect for that encounter to happen last night. That said, the cooperative restrained him.
Right here. Look at this. We're going to talk about it. I was trying to let her talk, but I can't. You're going to see this picture right here, and you're going to say to yourself, oh my God, he looks like the guy from New York? I don't, do you guys see it? I don't see it. And I don't see it right there. Do you guys see it? I mean, Yeah, that looks just like him, man. I totally see how those cops just rolled up on him and were like, oh my God, take down your mask. Oh my God, this is him. This is totally him. Give me a break. Okay. I think he needs to advertise for Kit Kat. Okay. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that brow. Like, what the this picture?
And told him to basically shut up and stop talking.
See, this is the part that I don't believe. Let's say that I believe it's him. Let's just say that I believe that it's him. Okay. I don't believe that you think you got to him the way that you're trying to say that some random customer didn't call in themselves, but gave it to a McDonald's employee, and they just were like in the midst of like a breakfast rush, were like, let me just get up on that tip line. No, let me just call my local police department.
So he was very active.
Look at that's how he was sitting when they asked him to remove his mask. Can you remove your mask? Excuse me? How could this like, think about this though. So let's say that it is him. You think that they got to him this type of way? I don't fucking know. They're like, shit, we totally fucked up in that Kohlberger case, man. We cannot talk about IGG again, y'all. We just need to use it and just give it to some. We are happy to give over 70, 60, 100K to some McDonald's employee that will just take one for the team.
He looked around. He was very involved and engaged in everything that his attorney was walking him through. He brought some documents and some notes, and the attorney did. He stepped out, I guess, to continue negotiating with the court. When he came back, they had a discussion. They seemed to have had a negotiation. He shook his head, and then he nodded oftentimes, and then we learned what he decided to do, which is to contest the extradition. So we are waiting for, of course, the governor of New York to ask for him to be extradited. And then at that point, he would be taken to New York.
And yesterday, we did hear Pennsylvania authorities say they do this all the time. It could take 30 to 45 days. You've been chasing the story on the ground in Altoona. What more are you learning about the events leading up to his arrest?
I just can't get over. Like, I asked myself, like, would I call in on that? Would I have called in and been like, no? And I know my answer wouldn't have been, I wouldn't have called in on him. I would have had to I would have followed him. I would have had to follow him. I would have had to see like his movements. Now, if there was a Greyhound bus maybe outside, but what? They don't go to McDonald's, do they? They go to like rest stops, don't they? I've never seen a Greyhound ever in my town pull up into McDonald's. Have you guys? I don't ride the Greyhound. I've never taken the Greyhound in my life, but I drive all over the place. I've just never seen a Greyhound up in McDonald's parking lot. Like, give me my motherfucking cheeseburger, bitch. No, I've just never seen it. So if you guys have seen it, let me know. Please take a picture the next time you are driving around and that there is a Greyhound bus up in McDonald's. Like, I've seen like the Renham buses and shit like that. Greyhound stops at many McDonald's. I've done Greyhound. I can't be like, yep, I've done it. I've done Greyhound a ton. They're always up at McDonald's. Why don't they go to Burger King? Them bitches don't snitch in Burger King. I heard you guys saw my post, right? I will pick Burger King over McDonald's any day when it comes to like the lunch meal. Oh God, I think Burger King burgers blow away McDonald's, but that's just me. But I don't think that I could tell. I don't think that I could be like, is that him? You know? I don't know. I would have to follow him around, you know? I think I'd have to follow him around a little bit. And then I would see like where he's going. But what I think is going to be the icing on the cake is I think there's going to be no Greyhound bus in this McDonald's parking lot, right? So then now, because that would have helped identify him to me, okay? Like, oh my God, there's a Greyhound bus. And then look at this little shit, you know? But yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
And told him to basically shut up and stop talking. So he was very active. He looked around. He was
like, that's when the cop said, can you please remove your mask? Excuse me? can you please remove my mask? Why? how has a cop just come up to you? Hey, well, we had a report that you were acting suspicious. We need you to remove your mask. Well, you can remove your fucking pants, buddy. What? What? Like, don't you think that's crazy? Look at this. Look at this. This is what they said. And then that dude that was just working for 6 months was like, dude, that's totally the guy from New York. Let's go. That's totally the guy from New York. Let's go. It says, have you been in New York recently? And this is where the kid supposedly got the shakes. I just don't buy it. Block away from the Greyhound station is Planks. This is the Planks McDonald's. So look it up for yourself. Planks McDonald's. Is that by the Greyhound? You guys can look it up. How would you not look in the mirror and say, I look like that guy? I don't think I looks like that guy in this picture right here. Like, I just don't. Look at this. That, you think that looks like, oh my God, that's him? After the transparency, I get the shakes now, but later I'll yell out, this is a disgrace to our this is the Altoon Transportation Center. None of the people on the bus recognized him, but a McDonald's worker did. You guys, and it wasn't even a McDonald's worker. It was a customer that told a McDonald's worker, like, they didn't want the money. Like, they didn't want the money. Get out of here. You can't even see his brows. Amen. Amen. You know, I just don't see it. You know, I don't know. Like, look at that. Look at that right there. Take that right there. And now compare that to the guy at the hostel that takes off his camera or takes off his mask to flirt with somebody allegedly. You know, he looks like a little, I don't know. He looks like a monkey right there to me personally, but he has like a little monkey face right here, like his mouth. I don't think the guy on the camera resembled like that monkey face. So whatever.
His attorney restrained him and told him to basically shut up and stop talking. So he was very active. He looked around. He was very involved and engaged in everything that his attorney was walking him through. He brought some documents and some notes, and the attorney did. He stepped out, I guess, to continue negotiating with the court. When he came back, they had a discussion. They seemed to have had a negotiation. He shook his head, and then he nodded oftentimes, and then we learned what he decided to do, which is to contest the extradition. So we are waiting for, of course, the governor of New York to ask for him to be extradited. And then at that point, he would be taken to New York.
And yesterday, we did hear Pennsylvania authorities say they do this all the time. It could take 30 to 45 days. You've been chasing the story on the ground in Altoona. What more are you learning about the events leading up to his arrest?
Well, everybody in this town is kind of paralyzed.
I haven't seen anybody in my chat say like, oh my God, Lana, he totally looks like the guy, right? So like, that makes me feel really good because I don't think he looks like the guy, right? And nor do I think that anybody, I mean, maybe they're just like, ugh. But again, if you have crazy people that just call in any tips, like this could happen. Like, oh my God, anybody that I see with a beanie on and a mask on, oh my God, I saw the guy. I saw the guy. I saw the guy, you know? I think that the guy 100% is way better looking in the photos of New York. Maybe it's light. Maybe it's the AI. You know, did they use AI at all in that in any of these footage? You know, crop, cut, whatever crap. So then they're gonna have to come out and tell us like, hey, this is really what the picture looked like. You know, from the hostel, and then you see that it's like you just totally made. Oh God. I don't know. This is just wild to me. This is wild.
With this story and following every development. Of course, this is a small city. It is a city, but it's a small city.
He's probably like, Luciano, why aren't you repping me, baby? Bella, mwah. Like,
enforcement is not used to having such a high-profile case in their hands.
Anyways, I just can't get over it. So what else do you guys want to talk about? What his lawyer said? I cared more about what his pitcher said. I think his lawyer just told him, "Hey, not now. We're fighting the extradition." I'm shocked that how does he not make bail with what you arrested me on? So I'm not making bail because of New York stuff, right? So someone said that it's JLR's twin. You guys, how does somebody have $8,000 in, what does he have, $100 bills, and he doesn't have any change on him? He doesn't have any other dollar. That's just a really interesting amount. Like, I would have been like, oh, he's got like however much money, but for him to have exactly $8,000, I highly doubt that. They said he had $2,000 in foreign currency and had $20 or even less in foreign currency. God, can you imagine, like, if you gave your kid, like, when you buy gifts for them and they hold them on as like, good luck or whatever. Those are in my wallet. Are you guys kidding me? I'm just saying, like, think about that. Well, I guess they could just get the gun and go test the gun against they should have a ton of shit to test it against, right? Thank you guys so much. Alice gifted a membership. We had Bushy Brows, Matter, Cheers. Deborah giving out 5 memberships. Chick Bait became a member. Look out. Shit's getting wild over here. And then I think Erin asked me, like, she said, I got your question at the end. No question's a stupid question, Erin. Don't ever think that. Love your face, all of you guys. Cheers. Let's compare handwriting. So now does it come into play? Is the woman, let's talk about what matters here. When is the hostile employee going to have to get up on that stand and say, that is not the guy I talked to? Okay. Or, yep, that's him. So now how important is this hostile employee? How important are they? What if they're like, that's not who this woman is a stage actor. You guys, this shit's just
What I heard
wild.
from police earlier today was the Altoona police and the state police, or the sheriffs here in the state of Pennsylvania, and the FBI and the U.S. Marshals has continued. All of the evidence went to the NYPD.
Okay, right here, he's saying that I just bought that mask. I don't know if he's talking about this black one. I don't know if he's talking about, the surgical mask. But I want to know how he goes from being in this picture. Where is his 2 jackets? And where is this black mask? Where were those things that he's then like, he doesn't have those things and he's taken a picture of in the blue? Like, did they take these items?
And it seems like the authorities here are doing...
Because I don't understand how you could possibly have a search warrant that would allow you to take that off of him, for him to show you a fake ID. For him to, what else is he being charged for? Having a gun.
Everything they can to send this case off to the NYPD. Another thing that happened in court is that the attorney representing Tom Dickey, the attorney representing him here in Pennsylvania, said that the state of New York, or via the state of Pennsylvania.
Wait, how did she just say Pennsylvania? I'm sorry. Wait, what? You guys, squirrel? Hold on.
Here in Pennsylvania said that the state of New York, or
Pennsylvania, I'm done.
Or via the state of Pennsylvania, did not make clear what charges he was facing in New York, which are second-degree murder. And he said because of that lack of clarity, he wanted to object to the extradition. The judge said you have 14 days to request a writ of habeas, and that might delay a little bit of the process. He has that right, and then at that point there would be a hearing, and then I assume the extradition would roll out. But it sounds like New York is also moving very fast in requesting it.
Lilia Luciano, thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. All righty.
Mangione came from what many consider to be a good family. He was an excellent student, a star athlete, but now is an accused killer. Senior national correspondent Brian Inton also live in Pennsylvania. Brian, what are you learning about Mangione and his life growing up?
Yeah, Nicole, we're live outside the University of Pennsylvania, where Mangione not only got his bachelor's degree in engineering, but also got a master's degree in engineering with a focus in artificial intelligence. He was smart. One of his friends I spoke to said, this guy was good at everything. He was a star athlete. He was the valedictorian in high school. But something went wrong, Nicole. And that's what everybody is trying to figure out when this shift happened. We have learned that he was reported missing. This is a new piece of information. He was reported missing by his mother on November 18th, and she reportedly made the call to San Francisco police that he had gone missing. He had family connections to San Francisco. He was living in Hawaii at some point recently. He was staying at sort of a hostel type dorm situation there where he was surfing and made friends. And friends who we spoke to in Hawaii said he complained a lot of back pain. He had a back surgery. He suffered from back pain. We're told that
he went missing. Oh, for fuck's sake. Here we go.
At one point, he went surfing and was in so much pain that he had to stay in bed for a week. And some of his friends believe that may have contributed to his mental health. He had fallen out of touch with family members and close friends on social media. There were friends who were trying to get in touch with him over the last several months saying, where did you go? We haven't heard from you. Listen to what one of the friends from Hawaii told Chris Cuomo last night.
Not darker and not aggressive and not violent. I think that it's obvious to most people that are aware that many of the systems that we live within don't benefit us as well as they could. And, those are normal intellectual conversations and discussions that we have. And he and I had many of those kinds of intellectual conversations, but never anything remotely towards violence. He was never aggressive. I never even remember him once being upset.
So really everyone that we've talked to, Nicole, from his childhood, from his high school days, from when he was here at Penn, and also when he was in Hawaii, everyone's saying the same thing, that this totally comes out of nowhere, that he showed no signs of violence, and that he was all around really just a great guy, they say, Nicole.
Yeah, so talk more about what Mangione's family is saying, more about this statement that they released last night.
Yeah, so they put out this statement last night basically saying that they have very little information, that everything they're learning is coming from media reports, and also saying that they are praying for the United Health CEO, but not saying much beyond that. In terms of his family, we know that they're a powerful, very wealthy family in Maryland.
Powerful?
The family has historically owned country
powerful?
clubs. They own a radio station. They own nursing homes throughout the state. One of his cousins is a Republican lawmaker in Maryland. So they are a well-connected family in Maryland. They did put out that short statement, but beyond that, they haven't said much else.
All right, Brian Inton live for us there in Pennsylvania. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for
Brian.
watching. Go to joinnn.com.
All right, so we have FOIAs in. We're going to see what we can do. San Francisco, where you at? A lot of counties in San Francisco. We'll just start, I don't even know. But let's see. All right, guys, that's going to conclude the little shakedown here. We'll be back tonight just after the 10 o'clock hour. So come back and we'll see what more we have for you in store here at Truth and Transparency. This is just wild. I don't think he looks anything like look at how much he even changed. Like, look at this one picture. So if you look at right here, okay, then look at this, which is right. You get that. So those kind of look the same, right? But this was taken. Look at this. Look at his hair there. Okay. Look at his hair there. This is at the McDonald's, right? Right after he left McDonald's. Look at this picture. I mean, what the heck are they doing to this person? Like this, where is this picture from? See, the background's all white like that. Then where's the picture that he's got his pants pissed on? Where's that one? Where's that one at? Is it on this little thread? Oh no. All right, guys. Oh, this is just crazy. All right, see you guys a little bit later. Later, Gators.
Awesome. Yeah, those ones kept walking in the car.
It's truly for the win.
That I was given to. So there was 2 different discs. Okay, they all knew about it.
We're not here to talk about the alcohol stuff, okay?
Okay, yeah.
But this is the second noise complaint we've had here tonight within 2 hours.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Is this your place?
Yeah.
Perfect. You know why we're here?
And I see noise.
Noise, yeah.
Yeah.
Big speaker right there.
Yeah.
Nothing against having a party. Once neighbors start calling in, then we have an issue.